Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Zain Abdin. This is Dr. Zain. We're gonna do without the camera on today. We're gonna just quickly have this webinar. The main goal for this webinar is to have a discussion with you guys, and also if you guys have very important questions, you guys can drop in the chat box, and I will be happy to assist you in your questions. Meanwhile, I'm going to just give my brief introduction. I'm Dr. Zain Abdin. I'm founder of IMG Helping Hands. I'm currently a PGY3, about to transition into my attending role after I'm done with my residency. So it's like 6 more months. And I'm also the chair of Illinois State Medical Society RFS Council. I'm also director at American Academy of Research and Academics. I'm having multiple roles, trying to just help as many people as I can. And we're having a large group of like a lot, we have many teams which are assisting in many research ventures, not just in terms of research publication teaching, but also in connecting to multiple hospitals and giving like assisting in research fellowship positions and in the residency programs. So before I jump into this webinar, if you guys want to specifically want me to discuss any specific topic related to research or anything, could be anything, you guys can go ahead and type in the chat box before I start. All right, I think let's start our webinar. So before I jump into the webinar, I just want to convey a little bit more about how the research projects function with IMG Helping Hands. We are a group of research mentors. Like we have many research instructors from many institutions who are like acting as a mentor, who teach from scratch like how to do research. And this is the whole, we have a whole protocol in place where we can teach you guys from scratch like how to do research, and also you will be able to publish the research articles in like high impact factor journals. So got it. I think I got a question. Hi, how long will it take to get access to the WhatsApp group or the research group after joining? So I'm not exactly sure if I have understood about your message. I'm not sure. Did you try to use the WhatsApp group and you are not able to get into the group, or is this your question? Yeah, I think if this is the question, so what you will be able to do is we give the like a free membership who people can join our WhatsApp groups, and then we do post opportunities like a research opportunities and the clinical experience opportunities where you guys can reach out to the coordinators to enroll in specific projects. So whenever they any coordinator post any specific project or any opportunity, you can directly reach out to them to enroll in that specific project. Okay, so this webinar mainly focuses on like why you have to do research, and because it's very important question, because you guys are physicians and you guys are who want to do residency. Most of the people have the goal of getting into the residency program here in the USA. But in order to get into this system, there are a few requirements like USMLE step one, step two, as we already know. But research itself is not a requirement, but it's highly recommended. It's it's recommended in such a way that not having research is considered a red flag by the residency programs. So you need to have have to have research. By the research, like what a lot of people ask, like when should we start learning about research? And there is no right or wrong answer for this. You guys can start as early as possible, but it's never too late. You can start if you are a medical student, you can start if you are done with your medical school. The earlier you're going to start, the more benefits you're going to have. And the reason behind that is if you are just applying for internal medicine residency like everybody else is applying, you might not need more than like around an average of like 7 to 10 hour publications. That's the stats currently ongoing. But in case if you are planning to apply for any other competitive residency program such as like surgery or neurosurgery, dermatology, orthopedics, plastic surgery, or any other like psych, you need to have a lot more focused preparation for the program, like for the residency program, by involving more in the research. Like I have seen a lot of people doing the postdoc fellowships like for 1 or 2 years and then getting into the residency program. I think that the reason it's important is because these days you guys are not just becoming a physician, for not just becoming physicians or the surgeons, but you are becoming physician scientists or surgeon scientists. Because there is a responsibility of contribute as a physician. You need to contribute into the scientific evidence world, so the next generation can have a benefit. So this is how our organization comes into play. What we do is we do have a lot of we do have a lot of research mentors who will be able to assist you from scratch. Like if you don't know anything about research, I think IMG Helping Hands would be the right platform to start from without any judgment. When you're going to start with us, you're going to see a lot of different people. For example, you're going to see medical students from all over the world. You're also going to see residents, fellows from other countries, and also from the USA who are doing residency in the USA. Because research is such a requirement these days that everybody needs, even if you are in the residency program. Because during residency, we do have some requirements that we do have to complete some research projects. So the earlier you know how to do research, you the more benefit you're gonna get. It's like biostatistics. The earlier you learn, because you cannot pass USMLE by not learning biostatistics. It's one of the hard pill to swallow. So it's the same thing. It would be the research, but our goal is not to treat research like it's a hard pill to swallow. We just want to. Our goal is to make it interesting and easy, that you develop a genuine interest in research. So, and that's one of the reason, like a lot of residents, fellows, and even attending physicians who want to go into competitive hospitals or competitive programs after their residencies or fellowships, they enroll in our research projects to just learn more about research, because there are a lot of complexities, a lot of different types of projects. So meanwhile, I'm also going to take a question. So someone asked about, do you have any website to apply to? We do have a website where you can apply, and we can also, I think, our coordinator can also drop the contact number, the email, or the application form in the chat box, so you can uh, get more about, or you can apply there to get into these positions, and also, sorry, get into these research mentorship groups and the modules. And someone asked about, hi, do you have any quality improvement projects? So yeah, we uh, do multiple types of studies. For example, narrative, systematic, meta-analysis, and we used to do some case reports, but there is some sort of legal requirement that we need to have the ethical like IRB approval. It's a little hard, but we do sometime when we see like a unique case, we do get into uh, the IRB approval to take permission to write a case report on that. We do that as well. But our more famous areas, like where we are contributing more, is the narrative, systematic, and the meta-analysis. Recently, we did start the CDC-based like database studies, which are also one of the options you guys can enroll into. And there are multiple different types of meta-analysis projects which you guys can and be involved and learn and publish. And another new initiative which we have taken recently is to target the conferences, because there are a lot of conferences where the micro form, like a mini forms of the abstracts, can be submitted to those conferences where people can go and then present their posters over there. So like once you start involving with IMG Helping Hands, you're going to see a lot of opportunities, not just the research project, but it's like a whole combination of the opportunities. A lot of people ask like, okay, why should we come to you? We do get research opportunities elsewhere or whatever. Or the reason like my answer always is the people who come to IMG Helping Hands, they do not only come for the publication. It's like a whole amalgam of the responsibility which IMG Helping Hands is taking on your behalf, and also helping you in such a way that no one else is doing that. By that, what I mean is, in IMG Helping Hands, every single day, like we are we are focusing on how to improve the quality of the research projects by not just giving you the research experience, but also some other benefits. For example, recently we collaborated with one of the professors from one of the very renowned hospital in Pennsylvania, and he had his own question bank. We had a contract with him that we are gonna give the free subscription of the question bank to our like members who are enrolled in our research projects. And then we also have other contracts in place, like with other organizations such as unmatchedmd.com, where who post on the regular basis like the vacant slots for residency programs or vacant slots for the research fellowships or the other limited license physician opportunities before residency. So which like we give the membership free of cost to our people who are enrolled in the research project. It's like a whole amalgam which we give. I mean, we also give you the 6 month of American Academy of Research and Academics membership. And lastly, a lot of a few if there is someone who is performing exceptionally, like, or if they are performing extraordinary, or they're above average, if they want some letter of recommendation from us, we do help in that as well. If we really believe that, okay, this person is going to be a genuine asset to any residency program where they go or any hospital they go, we do help them in the letter of recommendation as well. A lot of other opportunity, but this goal for the goal for this webinar is to only discuss for the research, because we have multiple other wings for like US clinical experience wing, of some virtual electives, in-person electives, a lot of other opportunities. But I think this is how in this webinar we're going to more focus on like why research, how research, and like when to do research and how to do research. Meanwhile, I'm going to continuously take like start taking the questions from you guys. So I don't want to sound like monotonous. So a person has asked, are there only literature based research opportunities? So no, I think I did answer this question already. You know, it's not just the literature based studies. We have multiple different types of studies. So in order to get a better answer, you might need to reach out to our research coordinator. The number and the email is given above. At you can just reach out to them and see if that helps you. They can give you the topics, or they can give you what type of studies you have. Like we have a few of the studies, I think, on the top of my head, which I have listed here. For example, the first one, which is a laser free retinal treatment from the light modulation to the photoacoustic therapy for the ophthalmology. Because initially we were just doing the research project for the medical subspecialties, but there was a very high demand for the surgery and the surgical subspecialties like ophthalmology or ENT, like plastic surgery. So we are now doing touching like almost every system and every specialties. And we are doing like we are doing opportunity, giving opportunity in almost every specialty. A lot of people ask about when when they start enrolling about research, they want to go into cardio research. But I think the reason behind because everybody is going into cardio research is there is a misinformation that because there is no cardio residency, there is a internal medicine residency, and after IM residency, you can go to do the fellowship in cardio. But if you're applying for IM residency, your first focus should be like internal medicine. If you're too focused on cardio at the very beginning, a lot of people or the programs can raise a question of if that interest is genuine, or if this is just because there is a geographic area which has like which is a little bit notorious about, because everybody from that area, if you ask, they are gonna say we are gonna become a cardiologist in the USA. So but I think if you are genuinely interested to be a cardiologist, like you can go for it. But I think when you're applying for residency, intern IM residency, CV and your research should be more focused on, like, as a collective research. You need to have a collective research experience, not just related to one topic, until or unless your interest is so high in that specific specialty that there is no force in the world that's going to deny or say that you will not be able to achieve that specific subspecialty or fellowship later on in your after you're done with your residency. And the second topic for the first one, as I explained about, it's related to ophthalmology. It's going to be beneficial for people who are going to be applying for ophthalmo residency. The second option is related to more related to like autoimmune polyglandular syndrome, such as endocrinology. Uh, People who are applying for IM residency but who have interest in applying for endo fellowship after their internal medicine residency, they can be a part of it. But that does not mean that if, let's suppose, you don't want to become an endocrinologist, you cannot be a part of this. But any person who is applying for like general residencies, like such as IM, FM, or like EM, you can learn research in any specific topic. Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend that if, let's suppose, you're applying for IM, you're learning for surgical research. Yeah, that's a little bit different. But I think mostly for the general residencies, you can learn anything related to like a general topics. For the next would be the pediatric airway emergencies. This is also, I think, one of the one of a great topic. Every month we ask our mentor to sit down and do a literature search, like where the gap is. And when they come up with a gap area, we devise topics, but our topics are a little bit are tentative. And then when the research project starts, we do a thorough research, like, okay, why should we do it? Like, should we even do this research? Is this even a valid research question? And then we tailor the question in such a way that that's going to result in a valuable study and will be able to publish in a high impact factor journal. The fourth article, like the fourth part topic, would be more related to ketogenic diets and intermittent fasting and the GI diseases. It's more related to like a general IM or general the people who want to go into gastro later on, or might be this could be related to endo as well. And the fifth one, I think we have vaginal microbiome reproductive outcomes for most of the people who are applying for FM or like OBGYN residency. That's, I think, a good topic to do so. And then I think a few surgical topics, which I think we have on the top of our mind, like a surgical management of the Crohn's strictures and the carpal tunnel surgical approaches. I think the eighth one is the heart transplantation as well. So these are a few topics which we are going to start, I think, but there are a couple more. I don't know about the names of the topic, what exact the topic is, but I think you can reach out to the our coordinator to get more about the research projects. I hope this answers your question. I think the last part, the person who asked about the research topics. And then I think another question is like, do you have any upcoming research topic related to family medicine residency? Okay. Yeah, as I mentioned about, I just mentioned like out of these topics, these do qualify for the family medicine residency because as a family medicine, you are doing rotations in almost every specialty. Like as an IFM resident, I do rotations in surgery. I do in ENT. I do in ICU. I do in floors, clinics, endocrinology, like multiple others, like almost every field. So you can learn research in every topic if you want to go for FM because FM means like you have to know something about everything. Someone is asking about, can you send the current topics again? I think our coordinator, if you're in the meeting, if you can send the topics again, please. I think they need the topics. Now, a lot of people ask about like how the research wing functions. The research wing functions is initially we give you a subscription for like American Academy of Research and Academics, where you get a free membership from us after enrolling, and we ask you to complete like a virtual research course and a quiz. And you have to score like 70% to pass the quiz. The reason we do that is because we want to make sure that you know something about research, because in the first lecture, in the first live lecture, we don't want you to be a little bit of like a little like you don't know anything about research. So that's the reason that we give you a little bit of research before you have the first lecture. This is like a quality improvement project tool which we implemented because we came to know that this helped people a lot more as compared to if they were just bombarded with the first lecture without any previous like a virtual course. So that's one of the reasons we are giving this course. So you can have knowledge of like you can have a little bit of research, like should know a little bit of research. And we have one of the like exceptional mentor, Dr. Sarah Waters. In order to centralize the system, we do have mentors, like multiple mentors from multiple institutions. But in order to centralize the system, we do have like a central lecture series from Dr. Sarah Waters, who is going to deliver from lecture series 1 to lecture series 4. She teaches everything from scratch. And then meanwhile, every month there are like around 120 to 150 new students who are divided into their specific fields of research into 10 to 15 specific research projects. And then we assign a specific research mentor to that topic, to that project, who is gonna start delivering his or her own lecture regarding that topic and how to do research, and then start delegating the task to you and giving you the feedback. We have the IMGHH author ranking criteria, which is that's how we assess like who is getting the highest score and who is getting the lowest score, because the person who is getting the highest score will be the first author, and who the person who is getting the lowest score will be the last author. And for the narrative reviews, the timeline is 6 weeks. By the end of 6 weeks, we have to submit the paper in the journal. And for systematic review, it's like 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. And for the meta analysis, like around 10 to 12 weeks, where we do that. What we recommend initially is like if you don't know anything about research, you can start with the basics of research, like a narrative reviews, and then we will recommend to enroll in like a systematic reviews and then meta analysis, which are a little bit more complex. So this is like how the research wing functions, like by the IMG Helping Hands. I think one of the person has asked, are any research options on interventional radio or interventional onco? Yeah, we do have. I don't know if that specific topic is available currently, but I think you can reach out to the coordinator and then you can say that I want to be like you want to enroll in specific project, and they will be able to help you in that. And then someone mentioned how much is the membership to get into research program. I think for the research program, I'm not exactly sure about what the fee structure exactly at this point, but what I know is there are like around more than 40 countries who fall in the category of UIM. By the UIM, what I mean is like underrepresented in medicine. The fees, they get 50% waivers for uh, because they are from the underrepresented countries. So whenever you reach out to the coordinator, they can give you the updated information about the topic, because I think because the fees vary according, like, oh, if you are an IMG, the fee will be different. If you are like a consultant, or if you are like a resident or a fellow here in the USA, the fee is different. And if you are at a consultant level, the fee is different. So it all depends. But and then you can ask the coordinator about the exact fees, and you can also ask about if you qualify for the UIM, like a UIM waiver of like 50% waiver. So they will be able to help you in that. Okay, so another question I have is, do you have any abstracts or letter to editor? We used to send the letter to the editors, but the letter to editors is something is being done. But if you know about research, like we do that, but but before that, we need you need to know the basics of research. because the person who is writing a letter to the editor, this means like there is an article that's already published about, but you want to write a letter to the editor about that specific, and they can see if that letter is, they can publish the letter. But I think before that you need to learn the basics of research. But we used to do the letter to editors, but I don't think so that's are like we are doing currently, because we don't see a lot of value in that as compared to some of the other research projects we are doing. And someone asked about, do you have any quality improvement projects? As I mentioned earlier, yeah, we do. And you need to text or email to the coordinators so they can give you the updated information. Yeah, another person asked about if this is just a research publication or something. Yeah, a lot of people ask about the ghost authorship. We strictly have to say no, that if whenever you reach out to us, we do not give any ghost authorships. Any article that's published on IMG Helping Hands platform with us is done in such a way that people have contributed in that, and they comply with the ICMJ guidelines and the IMGHH author ranking criteria. And this is how we do our research studies. A lot of people reach out for the ghost authorship, and unfortunately, we have to say no, that's not us. But and I wouldn't recommend anyone to be a ghost author in any article, because people can easily tell, like when they are gonna ask question in your by seeing your resume, they can easily tell that if that specific uh, mm, article was published like as a ghost author, like you are just a ghost author, you didn't do anything. Because once they start asking, the program directors start asking questions, you will not be able to answer in a very well manner. So that's why I wouldn't recommend going into that. And a lot of people ask about how but like is it just like a research publication, or is it experience? No, it's not a research publication, it's like a whole collective experience. A lot of people who enroll with us, they are able to mention in their resume as a research experience, because you are continuously being mentored, although it's virtual, but still in this virtual world, we are you are continuously being mentored by our research expert. And then you can write this as an experience, like 1 month, 2 month, whatever program you're in. You can mention about, okay, how this virtual experience contributed to your like a research future. So this is not just a research publication. The publication you're going to get with us, you can mention that in your resume separately. But I think as a research experience, we guide you like how to mention this experience in your resume. With that will be considered a separate research experience with IMG Helping Hands and American Academy of Research and Academics. And someone asked about, are there any research elective opportunities? We do have a lot of research opportunities, and then in the last couple of months, we did a lot of new contracts, because we what we came to, we came to know that a lot of people, they want to get into the they want to get into the elective opportunities, but they are not able to afford, because a lot of other organizations are charging a lot more. So we try to negotiate with the preceptors and try to convince them that what's the reason behind this we are doing is because we understand, as an international medical graduate, might be the fee for one single elective would be something people are earning in the whole 1 year in their countries, because the dollar difference is so high that we do understand, and because we have been through the same journey. But let me assure you that it's just an investment in your future. And how we are contributing is, we are trying to negotiate with the preceptors to decrease the fees, so we can help more people. And that's how we are contributing to this. Anything that has value, no one is going to give free to you. And if we are getting a lot of like free opportunities, might be they're not having a lot of value. So or might be if you are getting any free opportunities, If you think there is a value, we would recommend go for that. But our goal is to decrease the fees for the electives for because we want to help more people because a lot of people from other countries, and that's how we are contributing. But yeah, to be specific to your question, yes, we do have a lot of opportunities for the for electives. You can reach out, and for that you need to schedule, like I think a few months in advance, because a lot of people get the opportunities scheduled for might be 6 months, but the opportunity gonna start 6 months later, but they schedule back before because they want to travel, they want to apply for visa, they have to like multiple other like stuff to do. So I think a very, very valuable question a person asks is, after completing a research experience with IMG Helping Hands, how long afterward do we have to have access to the resources and the opportunities? So for the if because this is a very vast question, for unmatched MD membership, we give a like a 1 month membership. For American Academy, we give a 6 month membership. And the new initiative, like the new initiative which we are going to give for the question bank, would be that will be most likely for at least like 4 months, so you have enough time to go through every question. And regarding the other sources, for example, the other like webinars, you can have access to whenever you want to. And once you are enrolled with us, you can always reach out to us via message or email, or you can always ask us to connect if you need any help in in your journey. We will be happy to assist you. But yeah, I think I hope you I'm able to answer your question. Got it. And the next question, I think, what is the link for requesting research electives? So let me explain. Like there are research modules. Are you talking about the research modules or the research electives? Because both are very different things. The research modules are different. Research electives are different. Uh, Clinical electives are different. Virtual clinical electives are different. Observerships are different. So whenever you ask any of our team member, you just type that, like, ask a specific thing you want to enroll in. A lot of people they don't know the difference between observership, externship, or the elective. I can give you a little bit of what that mean. By the elective, what it mean is, like, when you are a medical student, like before your graduation, you are getting like a 4 weeks or 8 week experience. You get that experience, and that is considered elective. But you have but that's before the graduation. Or once you are doing residency, if you are a resident and you want to go in another hospital, might be for endocrinology, because sometimes like a few hospital, they don't have all the specialties. So if, let's suppose, you want to go for endo, might be for any other field which your hospital does not have, then you can request electives. These are like electives. But the difference between the elective and observership is, observership can be done after graduation, and observership can also be done before graduation. But the difference is that you are not allowed to touch the patient in observership. You can observe, you can take history, you can do anything, but you cannot do physical examination. That's the main difference. And the externship, what externship means is, externship is after graduation, but you're allowed to touch the patient. But when you're doing externships, they require you to get a malpractice insurance before doing. And there are different states which have, like, who have different laws regarding the externship. So, like, always verify from the coordinator about where specifically you are going for the electives. And now regarding the research elective, it could be virtual, it could be in person. With the virtual electives, you can enroll in the virtual elective, where you get being delivered the lectures, and then you get a letter of recommendation. For the in-person, might be there are some universities where you could go and do in-person elective. They teach you about research, and then you can get a recommendation. And the research module, which I explained earlier, is completely different, which is a completely different part. You learn about research. Okay, so someone asked about, I just heard you said virtual clinical electives. Can you elaborate more? Yeah, so this was the initiative. We collaborated with a few program directors and few professors from a few like hospital in New Jersey and from Chicago, from other and some from other cities. What we do is we like people who enroll for the virtual electives, they show up almost every day, I think, or might be 4 times a week. And the professor, they teach about how to take history. They assign a certain task and they spend time with you. And by the end of the 4 weeks, they assess you and then give you a letter recommendation. They upload that letter for the errors. So this is how the virtual research elective works. Sorry, virtual clinical elective works. Sorry, it's the research elective is different. Someone asked, how personalized are the sessions with mentors for medical students without prior research experience? What I would say is, I don't want to oversell, but just to be transparent, if you don't know anything about research, by the end of the research module, you will be a pro at least in a specific field. For example, if you're doing a narrative review, you will be able to write independently. So that's what we like. I can give you a reassurance in the form of that you will be able to learn from scratch, even if you don't know anything, because there are a lot of quality improvement tools which we implemented. Because if let's suppose during the whole lecture you're not able to understand a few things, we give you the access to like a bot where you can ask questions from that specific topic in a multiple different way, and then you will be able to get answers, and you will be able to get answers from that specific cohort of knowledge that's being delivered or that was delivered during that lecture. So it's just like how we are making research easy to learn, although it's like a little bit boring sometimes. But I think if we're just trying to make it interesting and easy to learn. And before even start, we are trying to give you the access for the other sources, other tools such as like research courses and the quiz which you complete. So your knowledge level is a little bit at a par level that you grasp the knowledge easily what's being delivered. And by the personalization, what I mean is the Dr. Sarah Waters lecture series is a general series, which is same for everyone. But then we have a specific cohort, like we have 10 to 12 people. They're going to be accommodated in specific one group, and then they will be assigned a one specific mentor who will solely be responsible to deliver lectures according to that specific topic you are contributing to. So I think there it's very personalized. It's like a layer of because we have a layer of system where if in case you missed one specific area of research in any specific lecture, that will be covered in the next part. Okay, so someone asked about between observership, externship, elective. What would you recommend for medical students? For ideally, the electives as a medical student, elective has topmost priority. Like you should prioritize elective. But in case if you're not able to get elective, like in-person elective, you can go for observership. And in case if you are not able to get the in-person electives or in-person externship observerships, then I would recommend to go for the virtual research electives, or sort of the virtual clinical electives. And virtual research elective, you can for the research, I would recommend to start with the virtual electives or virtual modules, and then once you have an experience in research, then you can go and work somewhere as a lab assistant, or it might be as a research assistant or research coordinator to enhance your chance of residency in a competitive specialty. And someone asked about how would be the fee. So I said, what would be the fee? Uh, I'm not exactly sure because the fee it ranges I don't know exactly like how much it is, but I think you need to ask from the coordinators, because every hospital has a different fee, every program has a different fee. So you might be able to get answers from the coordinators. We have a coordinator specifically dedicated for every field, like research, for US clinical experience, for the air services. But yeah, you can ask the questions from them. Okay, so another question is, I just got admitted to a study, medicine and surgery. How would you advise I begin to build my portfolio to get matched when I am done? If you just started with your like medical school, I would recommend initially try to focus more on your medical like area in your first year of your medical school. I don't think so you should be too focused on any other stuff like electives or research. Try to focus as much as you can on what's being taught in your medical school to make the most from it. And in the second year of your medical school, start learning research, start learning going for electives. That's the time you can know. But I think I wouldn't recommend to go for electives in the very first big, because if you're applying for residency after 5 years, the people are going to forget you. And even if they're giving the LOR at that point, but that LOR will be like 5 year old, right? So, but I think if you're in your second year, then you can start learning research. You can start learning, or you start going for the electives. That would be a little bit closer to your timeline when you apply for residency. Okay, someone asked about how to obtain a paid research fellowship or a funded US clinical rotation in the USA. So in order to get a, yeah, that's a good question. So you can get a paid research fellowship in USA. But before that, they make sure that you know how to do research. If you are the one who know how to do research, you can apply in, you can open any website of any hospital, and then you can open their research wing, or even sometime you can just ask their coordinator, the residency program coordinators, that if they can connect you with the research department, and then you can shoot the email and send your resumes to them. But you're only going to get a response if your resume depicts that you are the person who you know how to do research. If you don't know anything about research, I don't think so shooting an email is going to be helpful. But before that, I would recommend to learn research, and then build connection with them, and then get the paid research fellowship positions. But I think when you start working with us, like when you have the unmatched MD membership, you can start seeing every day that you will be able to see what are the hospitals who offer these type of positions. And then you can just start like shooting emails to make a connection with them. Even you don't know anything about research, you can say that, okay, I'm a person who is learning research, and I'm going to apply to your hospital or your research department once I feel that I'm well equipped with the research knowledge. So this is how you can make a connection with that hospital. But later on, after 6 months, when you apply, most likely they're going to consider where I got multiple positions in my life just because I have had introduced myself way before, like around about 6 to 8 months before even applying for that specific position. And someone asked about all of the electives and the observerships are central to the US, right? I don't think so. I have comprehended your question. All right, guys. I think if you don't have any more questions, we're going to end this webinar. But I would like to say, uh, I want to say best of luck for your future endeavors. We are here to assist you in your journey. Well, you can get involved with us. We are not responsible for what you do. We are responsible for what we do. You are responsible for what you do. But whatever you're gonna do, we're gonna make sure that you make us proud. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I think if the last person, if they have written the question again, all of the opportunities for the electives and are only limited to the US hospitals. Oh, for now, I think the opportunity what we provide are in the US hospitals, yes. The reason behind that is because if you're applying for US residency, then you need to get US experiences. But our there is our lab wing, which is we are expanding in the other areas because people also go not just come to the USA, but they wanna go to other countries. So we are expanding in that area. But to be transparent, that we don't have a well-equipped system in other countries, like connections in the other country hospitals. We are building that. Most likely we will, but right now it's more in the USA. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day.